Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog stampwithelaine.com and welcome to episode 5 of 6 in my Sale-a-bration Coordination Series. Today's project I'll be using more than words. This is also part of the Sale-a-bration Coordination Series, and all these words coordinate with some of the other Sale-a-bration stamp sets. For instance, the Sweet Wishes, they will go with a cupcake. Seasonal ones like Christmas, so that will go with the painted seasons. And there's also Leaping for Joy is easy to do, jumping in and hopping by. That will go with the froggy one. For today's project, we will be making this. I think I'm going to change the orientation of the open cut flower up there instead of down here. So for today's project we'll need the rose trellis thinlet dies. It's the open work rose that I want. This set of dies also coordinates with the Climbing Roses stamp set, and if you purchase both together as a bundle it will save you approximately 10%. My card base has been cut at 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. In metric that will be 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters. It's folded in half and I'm going to use it in landscape. You need a piece of Flirty Flamingo and one in Whisper White, and also some scraps of Flirty Flamingo to die cut the label. These two measure 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches, and in metric that's 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. You need a multi-purpose adhesive sheet, very vanilla cardstock, which you need to adhere, and use that, mark the top, and use this to die cut 4 open work roses. And if you follow me, I would have covered that in my Top Tip Tuesday slot yesterday. You sponge the colours or use your stamping blend to colour the rose and the leaves in their respective colours. And then once you've done all that, you can peel off the backing strip and glue them on top of each other. The Settles Dynamic Impressions Embossing Folder, Story Label Punch. This is new, also available for Sale-a-bration Coordination, and some rhinestones, a sponge dauber, Big Shot and magnetic platforms, Stamparatus to help you position your stamps, Flirty Flamingo ink, and Granny Apple combo stamping blends, and the Calypso Coral. I wanted the flower to be darker than Flirty Flamingo, so that's why I used a contrasting colour. First we're going to stamp our wishes greeting. Followed by the birthday greeting, and I'll do the same for the scrap piece. Stamp wishes on the spare piece of cardstock as well. I'm just going to trim this paper down a little bit so that my punch can reach. It's just to give this a bit more strength. And while I've got my stamps out, I'll just do a bit of stamping here. Now we need to do a bit of embossing, so I've got my Big Shot platform and only one of the cutting plates, because this is a dynamic embossing folder. So I want to emboss this way up with the lines going vertically. Make sure it's not crooked. Maybe it's better if I did it this way. and bring that down, and then I'll run it through the big shot off camera. I'll be back. Bring in my sponge dauber. I'll glue the label onto the label that was unembossed. It just makes it a thicker layer and easier to handle. So grab my sponge dauber and sponge the sides, and also sponge the sides of this one. Now for my favourite bit, assembling the card. So adhesive on the back. Grab a bow folder. Do the same with this one. Dimensionals on the back. Now comes the tricky bit. We want to overlay it on the words so that it lines up with the words underneath, like so. I showed you how to do the several layers of the self-adhesive sheets. Peel that off from the back and then pop that on the top. Finish with some rhinestones. Pop one there and a couple here. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. If you liked it, do give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet and you don't want to miss any of my videos, please subscribe. Share on Facebook if you can, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section, with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Bye for now.